Coming to you from Quarantine, New York, it's Unger the Radar presents Movie Commentaries starring Randy Unger. Tonight, Randy will be watching Cool Runnings with special guests Kevin Mosquera and Chris Clemente. Grab your popcorn, dim the lights, it's movie time.
Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another edition of Unger the Radar presents Movie Commentaries. And tonight we are going to look at the wonderful 1993 sports comedy Cool Runnings, about the loosely based on the 1988 Jamaican bobsled team, the first time that the Jamaican bobsled team ever appeared in the Olympics. The film stars John Candy as their alcoholic, kind of down on his luck coach. He used to be a star athlete in his younger days in the bobsledding world, and now he has been recruited by a young group of Jamaican track stars led by Leon. And basically, the film, is based on the 1988 Olympics, but it is loosely based. There are a few, factual errors, things that they took liberties of, but it's still a really fun film. It was released by Disney, so it's very family friendly. It's funny, it's triumphant, it's inspirational, and it's got a great score by Hans Zimmer. So you can't go wrong there. So with me tonight for this wonderful commentary, we've got Mr. Kevin Mosquera. Hello.
Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme.
And I'm not kissing no egg behind you.
No, not yet.
And Chris Clemente, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good to see
Feel
you.
the rhythm. Feel the rhythm.
Yes. And so, guys, we're all watching this off of Disney Plus, and it's a wonderful platform for great entertainment, obviously, Disney. When I say play, all right, so 3, 2, 1, play. Walt Disney Pictures.
Old school Disney logo.
So this was always Disney. It's not like a Disney acquisition, right?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was always. It was at 1993. It was always Disney, and this was like the heyday of Disney too. This is like a year after Aladdin, a year before The Lion King. Also scored by Hans Zimmer, by the way. So
The lettering.
You love the Hans, Randy.
Yeah. Tell me if you guys don't get a jungle to jungle vibe when it comes to the lettering.
Sure.
The font choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think they copied. Yeah,
Or
they adopted
a
that.
Spike Lee joint.
That too. Very different movie.
Yeah.
Very.
Here's a question for you guys. Do you think a movie like this could be made today?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it would be a little different. I don't know. I don't think it would be made the exact same way.
I think the live action family movie, it's due for a resurgence. You get one or two every year, but let's face it, it's not Pixar. Nobody's looking at a family movie nowadays.
I think the closest to a family movie is like all those A Dog's Purpose and all that stuff. And I was actually watching the film The Call of the Wild with Harrison Ford, and the CGI dog in that. That was pretty charming. That was relatively family friendly.
I'll take your word for it. Oh, there's Hans.
There he is. But I don't know. I don't think they could make this movie today, but
I just thought maybe because of the any racial undertones or ethnic differences, sometimes it comes across as unkosher.
Yeah.
Well, because it's loosely based on history, I feel like that's the loophole.
Yeah.
It was back then, right? Even though in the 80s, right? Was it supposed to be the 80s?
88.
88.
But it came out in 93. But I rewatched this just a few days ago in preparation for tonight, and I really,
That's right. You did some prep.
yeah, I watched it. I came in relatively fresh with it, and I didn't really get any like racial undertones or like any issues regarding race here. I really
Right.
just look at it like it's just a fun, feel good sports comedy.
Good. Yeah.
And I think that's what the initial goal was in 1993. So
Well,
it holds up.
they were, I don't know if it's smart, but they played it differently, right? Instead of it being potentially a race thing, they made it sound like, listen, you're Summer Olympics. This is a winter sport. That's why you don't belong. That was the primary focus.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Even thinking about it, yeah, like a Jamaican bobsled team does seem ridiculous, but they made it work. And that's like the main issue with the movie. Like these guys have no right being in Calgary, but they triumph. And this is Doug E. Doug. Where do I know him from originally? Guys,
Doug was in a lot of sitcoms back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, he was
I believe he was a lead in Cosby.
Yep.
Yeah. The later Cosby.
That
Yeah.
was like a spinoff, I think.
Yeah.
Talk about racial, no,
You're right.
controversial figures.
Meanwhile,
Yikes.
Leon,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, was in The Cosby Show and the spinoff A Different World. I'm pretty certain about that.
A Different World. I'm looking up Leon Robinson. He was in The Five Heartbeats, Robert Townsend, Above the Rim, and he played Little Richard in
That's right, Little Richard. Yeah, in the biopic, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Did he pass this year, or was that earlier?
No, he's alive.
Talk about Little Richard, man.
Oh, Little Richard passed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardest working man in showbiz.
Yeah.
He was good.
Cheers.
And I don't know much about the history of pushcart racing, but is that like a really popular thing in the Caribbean? I don't know if
I am far from an expert on this.
I don't know.
Just checking.
I mean, the closest thing I've seen to pushcart racing is the Little Rascals when they go down like the little carts down a hill.
I'm sure they wanted to make a correlation between bobsled somehow, you know, like it's their version of the bobsled, so that's how they loosely tie it in.
And it's a very clever filmmaking device to a plot point. So.
Yeah, like this scene right here is a good example of that, right? Because they're showing the angles and the path that a typical bobsledder would take. So
I get the guy driving. I'm like, sure, let's put a guy in the cart. But why is the guy head first?
Oh,
and he's not really
no other way to do it.
No, he's not even doing anything. He's just laying there flat.
No, unless you're allowed to punch the other guy while they're driving, what's the point?
Well, that
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that.
And now the famous line, Sanka, you dead, mom? This is like one of the most famous lines from the movie.
No, I thought that's later.
No, it says it right now. Oh, he's going to say it. Leon's coming. There he is.
Now, were you guys a fan of Cool Running back in the day?
Moderately.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I wouldn't call it one of my favorite films, but it was enjoyable. And
yeah.
I was, but I realized, and just I guess how memories in your brain works, I can tell you all about Cool Runnings from like the bar scene that comes much later once they're already trying out for Olympics to the end. The very beginning, this is all hazy to me.
Like gathering all the teammates together and meeting John Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I mean, it's pretty well acted. I mean, for a Disney movie, for a family movie, it's great.
Yeah.
You know, very likable characters. Leon could be best compared to like a Disney prince, you know? He's like the leading man. So
yeah.
And
sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah. I guess that's a bit of a stretch. And John Candy can be like the comic relief, sort of like the Sebastian.
So right.
I see John Candy more like a Phil from Disney's Hercules.
Which one was Phil?
Danny DeVito's
Right.
role.
Oh,
I see
okay.
that. I see that, Kev. Yeah.
Trying to think.
Look at all that Adidas love.
I think Candy was in The Rescuers Down Under, if I'm not mistaken. I know he was in one or a couple of animated films.
The Rescuers Down Under. Wow. It's a blast from the past.
Yeah.
I remember, well, not to derail from this movie, but I remember the Pizza Hut advertising and being very excited to get like a Rescuers Down Under cup. You know, a big, whatever the version of a Big Gulp was. Yeah.
Yep.
Funny.
Man, Yul Brenner's jacked.
Yeah.
Malik Yoba.
Like, he's jacked, but it's like, at the same time, I would argue a little too jacked to be a sprinter.
I mean, I ran track in high school, as you know, Kevin, and I knew at least one or two other guys who were sprinters who were actually really big, like maybe about 6 feet, like 200 pounds. They can move. They really, I don't know, I guess it's the muscles and something. But yeah, don't be deceived. They can be really quick, really fast.
A little foreshadowing here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The slow cringe moment.
And the great thing is about the movie, the message is even if you fall down, you know, you can still end up.
Is that the tagline?
No, but that's like the main message of the movie.
Yeah, you got to finish, right? You got to go past the finish line.
It's a really great lesson for kids. So kudos, Disney, kudos.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great morale film. A great, you know, not to say that it's ahead of its time, but, you know, I think it's making a lot of statement by having a film like this. So,
yeah.
Kudos.
It's just a fun, feel good, you know. We don't really have a lot of that these days, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, even before the pandemic.
Right. What's your guys' go-to John Candy movies?
Well, I actually watched for the first time ever, I know I'm ashamed of this, Uncle Buck.
I know. I was shocked by that statement when I read it. I was like, what?
And
That is, I'm the opposite, and that is my go-to John Candy movie.
good.
That I can't tell you how many times. I'm sorry?
Like, it was the quintessential John Hughes film, like, dramedy. That's all that this movie is, and it had great performances. Candy was amazing. And I think it may have surpassed Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for my favorite John Candy film.
If that's the movie that does that, yes. But I mean, yeah. Trains, Planes, and Automobiles has a separate place in my heart, though. Like that is a heartfelt movie. Yeah,
it's so funny.
That is a heartfelt movie, whereas Uncle Buck is just out loud funny, you know. So
I would have even loved to have seen a sequel to that.
Uncle Buck. Yeah. No, I mean, you gotta respect the non-sequels nowadays. Like that movie is just great on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say is your go-to?
Who, me or
Kevin? Sorry, Kevin.
Oh, Planes, Trains, but I mean, the one I probably see the most is one that nobody would consider a John Candy film, which is Home Alone.
Oh,
but like it's not really a John Candy film; it's a John Candy great cameo.
Right.
He was in that for like maybe like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
he made it.
I remember, I forget where, but like they compare like paychecks, and like he got like $14 for that day, which was like a smaller amount than the pizza guy, and like so he was flaunting it in his face, like I got more than John Candy.
The movies that made us, great series. I saw that there. For the films that made us, what I call it.
Yeah, it's a great series.
Mm.
And here's Leon trying to recruit more people for his team. It's also a pretty nice advertisement to travel to Jamaica, like, you know.
Right. I haven't had the pleasure, but I'd like to.
Yeah, beautiful. From what I hear. So this was supposed to be the 88 Olympics. And then 92, they had I know that was the Dream Team. They didn't have any, wait, was that summer as well?
Yeah, it's summer and winter are different years.
Yeah.
I want to say 94 is Dream Team. I could be off on that.
No, I think that was 92. I remember having the stickers of Michael Jordan on my wall as a kid.
Oh, that was
that was 92.
93. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
John Candy.
Mr. Candy.
And actually, on a sad note, this was actually the last film that was released while he was alive.
That's right.
He died a year later, and he had 2 more films. Canadian Bacon. Yeah, Canadian Bacon and Wagons East.
Canadian Bacon.
Yeah. But he was so good.
Yeah.
Like, he could have gone on to much better things, you know?
Yeah. Here's a little bit of trivia for Candy. Yeah, you probably know this, Randy, but the film that he passed on.
Yeah. That he passed on.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a good question. Can I get a little?
It's your favorite.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, he was. Yeah. He was. They wanted him for Louis Tully in the first Ghostbusters. Yeah. That would have been interesting.
He said that he just didn't understand the part, and he wanted to play the part in a German accent.
No.
Every famous New York prosecutor is German.
And Eugene Levy was in a deleted scene of the second Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
In a similar role.
And Eddie Murphy was supposed to be in there too, right? Yeah. John Belushi. Right.
That would have been insane. Eddie Murphy and John Belushi. But back to Candy. Were you ever like into I think, Chris, you may have been into SCTV, Second City?
Yeah, I mean I wasn't religious into it. I probably learned of it later on in life. I visited Second City when I went to Chicago, and it was just all John Candy amongst other people, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
But yeah, and I catch some episodes on YouTube.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, you too. You're into stand up and improv.
Yeah, Second City was the premiere for improv and sketch. I mean, most of your original couple of seasons of Saturday Night Live, they were all through Second City. So yeah.
But Candy was never on SNL, I don't think.
No.
Interesting.
No, just Second City.
I know Martin Short made the transition.
Yeah, and Bill Murray.
Oh, really? I didn't know Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Bill Murray. Yeah, quite a few people. Even like Amy.
Lake Placid.
I'm sorry.
I'm just looking at the Lake Placid poster that he had there.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually one of the road trips I'm thinking of taking during the Labor Day weekend, just to get out.
Good trip.
All right.
5-6 hours, give or take.
Be careful with alligators.
In Lake Placid?
Isn't that where that alligator movie with Jodie Foster? Like,
it was, yeah.
It was like a giant.
It was a different Lake Placid.
I was about to say, I'm going to one in New York.
Yeah, I think that's where it took place, but it's only a movie. You know what? This movie has a similar like flow to maybe like Hoosiers, you know? kind of like a coach down in his luck.
Mm-hmm.
The young exuberance of the players kind of lifts him up and inspires him to be a better person.
Mm-hmm.
Lucius did it a little bit better. This is more of just a flat-out comedy.
Well, in a different direction, that's newer. 2020, actually, one of my favorite of the year. The Way Back, which with Ben Affleck, and
Earlier this
yeah,
year, right? Or
yeah,
late last year, yeah.
yeah,
I didn't.
early, yeah, and same kind of concept, like a drunk coach trying to take on a team, kind of, restraint and against his will a little bit, and it was phenomenal.
Nice.
So I'm getting little vibes from that just because it's been fresh off my mind.
Nice.
Oh, I'm a big fan of this scene coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty funny.
Sanka.
Any of you ever been to Calgary or Canada?
Canada, yes. Calgary, no.
Canada, yeah, yeah. I have some good memories and bad memories.
Oh, let's hear it.
Assuming then Montreal is what you're talking about.
Montreal, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah, Montreal. Not the nicest,
Oh,
but not the worst either. Some good people, but.
It's a glowing recommendation.
I'm trying to like protect myself. I'm like, this is
Okay.
really I shouldn't think. No, but then again, I met some lovely people that I know from Montreal.
All right.
Ooh. Not
Yeah.
you. The crashes.
I didn't do any research on how badly injured people get in bobsledding, but it looks.
Oh, they go fast.
It looks terrifying.
Yeah.
You're in a giant metal container.
Yeah.
Going down ice. And if you could die.
I wonder who decides these things. Like, we'll have this where it's like you're in a tin can going 1,000 miles per hour, and we'll also have curling in the same Olympics where it's just like brooms on ice. Yeah, right. That makes sense.
Sadistic.
You'll gonna.
Malik Yoba. Let's see. Oh, he was on Empire. And
Yeah, that's right.
New York Undercover. That's where I know him from, yeah. Cool. Actually, in a way, this is kind of like Ghostbusters. I just realized, it's kind of banding them together. They all have their own skills, their own strengths, weaknesses, and they're all very quirky. But yet they work together. It's pretty great. Again, Disney, thank you for that message of teamwork.
Oh, that was a bit of a stretch there, my friend.
It is. This actor, though, I don't think I've ever seen before. The rich guy.
Junior.
Yes.
Junior, yeah.
No, I'm going to look him up. I'm pretty sure I've seen him on stuff.
I'm on his Wikipedia page right now, and it's got just one paragraph on Cool Runnings. And then later career is not that extensive. Spy Hard, K-Pax, Hybrids. Never heard of it. Hybrids. But he's good. And aside from casting, this was directed by John Turteltaub, who did the two National Treasure films, also by Disney.
Okay.
Very different type of film.
Yeah. He did this, and then 11 years later, he did National Treasure. Oh, actually, he did a few in between. Three Ninjas, While You Were Sleeping.
That'd be a fun movie. Oh, wait, he did Three Ninjas?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a film from childhood that I love.
That was a year before this. 92. While You Were Sleeping, Phenomenon, Instinct, Disney's The Kid,
Oh, wow.
and then The National Treasures, and then The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Las Vegas, and The Meg, which actually was kind of fun. Jason Statham.
Oh, he did The Meg. Huh?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. While You Were Sleeping was one of the ones that made me perk up. That's an underrated film as far as rom-coms go.
I remember not loving it. That was like right after Speed, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the height of Sandra Bullock.
Right.
Yeah.
Bill Pullman and Peter Gallagher. I gotta watch them. It's interesting. He goes from comedy to romance to action to thriller to sci-fi. Pretty versatile director.
Yeah. Underrated. Yeah.
Underrated. He really has like an intensity about him, Candy. You know, if you like look into his eyes, like
Yeah.
pretty
He
good.
has that. That's actually a good observation. Like he has that in Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
Intensity. Yeah. Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. Like towards the end, you know, like when he's like, "I like me," you know, like that intense. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's one of the greatest monologues of any drama ever. My wife likes me. My customers like me.
Yeah.
Felt for him, you know.
Yeah.
He really brought a lot to that movie.
Another good movie of his that I love is a go-to for me is Summer Rental. That's a good one.
Is that Freddie Prinze Jr.?
That's Summer Catch, dude.
Oh, Summer Rental 80. Yes.
Rip Torn, your guy. Rip Torn is in there.
Yeah, he's awesome. I remember the scene where he's walking over people on the beach and he's like spilling stuff out of his cooler. That was The Great Outdoors, another one.
Great Outdoors is a good one. Yeah. Did Matt get up to that one? Because it has Danny Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Holy moly! I can't believe how many movies Danny Aykroyd.
He watched like every movie. Our friend of the show, Matt Roran, basically for the past 2 months has been watching and rewatching every Dan Aykroyd movie ever made. And some of the titles that he throws out on Facebook is like, I've never even heard of some of these.
Yeah.
And it's
almost like, Dan, you could say no to movies.
Yeah. He liked to work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good.
It's funny. And the father crushing his dreams.
I'm gonna be honest. I think this is some great usage of the dog. That dog is adorable.
Basset Hound, yeah, it's very cute. So this came out, and then I think actually no, the year before this they came out with The Mighty Ducks, also Disney.
So let's pause for a second here. We're in Jamaica.
Yeah.
What we're saying is they don't have much money, or at least by this, they're implying that for equipment.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say I know a lot about Jamaica, but I'm going to say I don't know about many Jamaican American football players. So where are they getting this equipment from?
Excellent question.
Wherever they can get.
Yeah.
Like at that, I would think it'd be just as easy or hard to find padding for a bobsled at that point.
Yeah, they don't have American football there. I think they have soccer, right?
I would, yeah, I've seen Jamaica playing soccer games.
So maybe they.
I think they have rugby. Rugby is.
So maybe those are rugby.
That and cricket.
Rugby doesn't use padding, my friend.
No.
Oh, wow.
No. I'm just thinking of Jamaican sports. The lack of my ability to the worst of my ability.
Oh, I love this scene. I'm going to say that a lot during this movie, but this is a good one.
It's an iconic image from the film.
So this is where they're molding Leon as the captain, the driver. Yeah.
Which already goes against their whole theory that you want like Olympic class sprinters to do it.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
your driver is not them, so why is Sanka part of the team?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Because his heart, his grit and fire. Because I thought originally he was going to be the driver. And, yeah,
Mhm.
He did too.
you know, and that would only make sense. But and so they have a 2-man and they have a 4-man bobsled team. From what I read. So
There it is.
The first reference of the egg.
you know what? Now that I'm thinking, you guys were talking about making this movie today. I think they could totally remake this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could work. It all depends on casting. Maybe like Russell Crowe as the coach.
Russell Crowe.
Because if you look at him now, he's gained weight. So he looks a lot like John Candy these days.
I know the movie that came out where, yeah, but I don't know. Is that just him or is that the movie? That's Mr. 300. Dude had like abs on top of abs.
No, that was Gerard Butler, you're thinking.
Fair point.
Chris, though, you saw one of his more recent films, the Tom Cruise Mummy.
Yes. Yeah.
Did he
Oh
look?
yeah. You know I love that one. I
Did he-
really do.
Did Crow look very heavy?
Yeah, I mean he's put on weight, but like he's doing a lot of interviews now because of the Gladiator anniversary. So like he's popping up a lot, you know. So and he looks like George Orwell's, you know, just like kind of like in his later years, like he's just put on a lot of weight and just like has a beard going, like yeah.
You mean Orson Welles?
Yes, right.
I don't even know what George Orwell looks like.
You're right. No, Orson Welles.
He does.
Yeah,
That's a weird, scary comparison.
Yeah, he kind of looks like it. Like he could literally do a like a biopic of him. Like he looks like him during the F is for Fake years. Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah, we got the song going now.
This has a Tommy Boy vibe. when he gets rejected by every person, yeah.
You could put your head up a cow's ass, but wouldn't you prefer to ask the butcher? Or whatever he says it?
I can take a good look at a T-bone steak. Mm-hmm.
A lot of banks in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah, the kissing booth.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen so many movies with kissing booths and all that. Never actually seen one in real life. I don't think they exist.
I've done one, right? Not me. Like I've gone to one.
Oh.
It was in. Wait for this. Though. It was in Jersey. Where is it? Asbury Park. And it was a bulldog palooza, and there was bulldogs everywhere. And they had a kissing booth with this cute little French bulldog puppy. And I was kissing the French bulldog.
Yeah.
I'm sure PETA would approve.
Yeah.
That's cute. But yeah, I've never seen a kissing booth either. I don't
No.
know if they actually exist. They definitely don't exist now. We know that.
No. No.
That'd be a quick way to spread corona.
Yeah, I think Dougie Doug has the most charisma out of the whole team.
Yeah.
It's definitely the comic relief.
He's the comic relief.
And I wonder if Jamaicans were offended or proud of this movie. Probably proud of it, because they don't depict Jamaicans in a negative light. But I don't know. It's a positive film overall.
So let me get this straight. They did all that work getting rejected from banks, and the only thing that guy had to do was to sell his car.
But
And
like he's saying, it's not proper. Okay, you couldn't have asked him right off the bat.
no.
So he's the backer, the financial, the money guy, pretty much. I mean,
And
he's
the reason that none of them are in the Olympics right now.
yeah. Not a good message, Disney. Don't lie to your parents.
No, come on. How old are these guys? In their 20s?
Yeah, maybe even 30.
You're your own man at that point.
And they're off.
Little steel drum action.
American Airlines. Little advertisement there.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Was that our first shameless plug?
No. In the bar, I actually saw Candy was drinking Red Stripe beer.
Oh, nice. That's a good
I'll
beer.
call out the plugs.
That might be the same coat from Uncle Buck. I think it.
It's a good coat.
Yeah.
Good coat. That's great. That's great. That's like, for me, this is like the first big laugh of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sanka. Maybe that's where Fred stole the idea
Duffel
of,
bag.
of Joey wearing all of Chandler's clothes.
Could I be wearing any more clothes?
I'm not smoking. I'm breathing. There's some subtle stereotype references to hear that.
Hmm.
That, like smoking weed, I guess.
Okay. I can see that. Yep.
-25.
Calgary, I'd like to go to. Never been. All I really know about Calgary is some pro wrestlers are from there.
Mm.
And isn't Candy from there originally? Or
Candy's Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah.
oh, that's
Yeah, I haven't really dived too deep into Canada besides Montreal. I would love to go to Toronto.
I was only there for a few hours for work, but beautiful city.
Yeah.
Vancouver, I hear, is a very
Vancouver, yeah.
Yeah, I'd go.
and a lot of things are filmed in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Like, isn't
All
Vancouver
those CW shows.
for a lot of the shows based in New York City? They use Vancouver. I think that.
Yeah. I've heard that. Yeah.
The Dark Knight was filmed in Vancouver. Could be mistaken.
Chicago mostly.
Chicago.
Mm.
And now the quote-unquote villain.
I was just asking that, like, to myself. I'm like, I forget who's the villain.
The white-haired guy.
But is he really the villain?
He's just a jerk.
Like the guy that wants him to lose. Yeah.
Well, let's say this. I know it comes up later, but he's got issues with Candy, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the collateral damage is the other team. But I think he has every right to have issues with Candy.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Like, yeah. Candy kind of let the team down.
Yeah.
By, yeah.
No, the backstory with Candy's character, he cheated. He did something.
He weighted the bomb slug to get faster.
Yeah,
Which in my research, apparently you're allowed to do. There's a maximum and minimum range.
Interesting.
Like if you have like a bunch of really light bobsledders, they actually allow you to add weight to it. I mean, there's obviously a maximum, but still.
Interesting. Yeah, they don't really dig deep into his backstory, but yeah, they make him seem like he's sort of like a sleazy, slimy, disgraced athlete.
Mm-hmm.
But he redeems himself somewhat.
Mm.
Oh, and another sports movie that Candy did, I think, the same year as this or a year after, Rookie of the Year. Just was that he was uncredited. He was the announcer at the stadium.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah. That was, I think, this might have been the same year as this, actually.
It had to be beforehand. He only had a few movies left before he croaked.
I know.
I'm sorry, he passed on.
He was like croaked. He was just too heavy. He needed to lose weight. Because he was like over 6 feet. Like,
was it just weight or was it other things? He didn't pull Chris Farley, didn't he?
No, he died of a heart attack.
Okay.
Farley died of a drug overdose and obesity.
No, it was.
Or was it
drugs?
Yeah.
It was drugs.
No, drugs. Yeah.
No.
It was
drugs.
Farley died from a speedball. He did. He overdosed. But Candy died from a heart attack.
Yeah.
I think he was 43 or something like that.
41. No, 43. 43. Yeah, he ate a lot. He had a heart attack. And his last film was Wagons East.
What was his last film?
Wagons East with Richard Lewis. I started watching it the other day. It's pretty bad. I think Cool Runnings would have been a nice high note to go out on.
But like I said, when I think Candy, I think comedy, and he's not comedic. Yeah. He's just he does a great performance. Don't get me wrong, but it's he's not making you laugh. That's Sanka's job.
Yeah.
But,
I get a vibe where like if he lived longer, he would have kind of used this as like a pivot to try more dramatic roles and be less of the funny guy.
Kind of like an Uncut Gems type of transition.
Those are more of a Jonah Hill transition.
I could see maybe like him pulling a Tom Hanks or a Steve Carell, like just doing more like deeper comedies.
Yeah.
I mean, deeper dramas rather.
I would have loved to have seen where his career would have gone had he.
Yeah. No, he had the chops, like as we saw in like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The Swiss.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful country. I'll never return. Only for one reason. It has nothing to do actually with the quality of the people of the country. It's just too damn expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I went there because I like to go to like other McDonald's in every country, just as a stupid thing I do when I travel. How much do you think 2 Quarter Pounder with cheese meals cost in Switzerland after the exchange rate?
So you mean in American dollars? How much it would be?
American dollars.
I guess like $5 or $6.
2 meals. I'm talking about 2 Quarter Pounder with cheese value meals.
So maybe like $10.
It costs $36.
Oh,
after the exchange rate.
God. Oh wait, is that one of the countries where they give you a glass of beer with your meal, with your burger?
No, I didn't get that. I mean, it's just literally they got wealth.
Wow.
The exchange rate does not favor the U.S. dollar.
Yeah. Yeah.
They make
that was ultimately why I didn't go to Iceland. I was debating whether to take a trip to Iceland, but I heard that was just crazy expensive around there too.
Wow.
This is where I would say there's some movie liberties, because there's no way I think they would have even used or had a bobsled this speed up.
It's possible. East German. Bullies.
I don't know anything about bobsledding, but I guess you have to bring your own bobsled. They don't provide them.
I would assume so.
Yeah. I would think that they would have that there, but I guess not if they don't have it.
It was just laying around.
Yeah.
They really spruce it up towards the end of the movie.
Nothing little polish. Okay.
Elbow grease.
They should pick a note from Christmas Vacation and put some like Crisco on the bottom, some shortening, some baking shortening, and just.
Like, here's a perfect example. I even doubt that's legal. The lack of push start.
I think a lot like the lack of knowledge and training before actually doing your first run. I think is a little far fetched. Like basically, if you can pay to get into the Olympics, that's all you need.
Hey, second appearance of the egg already.
Yep.
So Candy actually wanted this movie so bad that he actually agreed to take a pay cut, according to Wikipedia here.
Yeah. He seemed like I've seen a couple of interviews with him. He seemed like a pretty humble guy.
Yeah.
You know, I think he kind of did that with Home Alone too. He just was a friend of Catherine O'Hara, and yeah, just wanted to do it.
See, that's classy. That's
Yeah.
I like that.
It's like once you make enough money, why not just do stuff for fun?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think there comes a point where I'm not at that point yet, but I think when you've reached that level of money and success, like how much more do you need to to be even happier? Like at that level, like this is Candy on the top of his game. Like he doesn't really need to do anything else, you know.
Yeah. That's classy.
Mm-hmm.
That would be me if going down a bobsled, just screaming like a little girl.
Right.
We just need
Sanka's the everyman.
We just need a fourth member right now. We could do our own bobsledding.
Like, listen, Lake Placid's not that far away. They let you do stuff there. You could rent it out.
Kev, you already have the egg, so.
There we go. I'll hard boil it just in case.
Perfect.
It must be the equinox because it's standing up.
Is he cooking right by his bed? Oh, we got another sort of product placement, Marvel. Reading a Hulk comic.
Wow.
Classic Hulk.
Before Disney acquired Marvel, maybe that was a premonition.
Maybe.
That was Disney's way of saying, "Hey."
Yeah.
I mean, this came out in the 90s, right? 90s. Marvel was like borderline bankrupt around this time.
Yeah. Was it even a studio during this time? Like,
no, they weren't a studio till basically Iron Man. Right.
They just did a lot of
just as a publication, they were bankrupt around this time. That's why all these.
Right. That's why like Spider-Man went to Sony and all that. Yeah.
But what about the animated series of X-Men and Spider-Man? What was that?
X-Men, if you think about it, was Fox 5, so that's Fox.
Uh-huh.
So that was already them selling rights to that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, only got it back after Fox was sold to them. So there you go.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Burn right there. You know, I think that was a good comparison with Miracle. It's like it's a good movie, but I gotta say it's not that funny. Like
no, that's a drama. Yeah.
Right.
Wait,
if it
was that what year was that supposed to be?
That was
no. I meant like this movie is not like it. I don't find it that funny. Like but like there's some comedic moments to it. But I think just like I feel like looking back on it, I want to think of it as more being funny than it is actually watching it again. Yeah. It's more inspirational and heartfelt than funny, I think.
Oh, like I'm curious, was Miracle? I think that might have been the same year, the '88 Olympics or
80s, 1980.
The year of the actual Olympics.
1980, because it's supposed to be during the height of Cold War, right? That's the whole idea. Americans beat Russians.
But the actual movie was like I think like the later aughts, right?
Oh yeah, it was when we were college time, so it had to be sometime between 03 and 07.
Yeah, something like that.
The only reason I know is because a lot of the people from Miracle went to my college, and they made a big deal about it.
Mm.
I think I would put this on the top 10 favorite sports films of what I like.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, because it's just a fun film and inspiration.
Yeah.
And plus Hans Zimmer's score, like this is one of my favorite Zimmer scores.
I mean, really,
I don't remember.
I don't really find the score memorable.
No,
Like up to this point, like
well, I'll be honest with you, it is drowned out. You don't really notice it, but if you
Yeah.
actually listen to the soundtrack, there are two tracks by Zimmer, and if you listen to them on their own, they are like they made me. It reminded me of like The Rock, or
mhm.
you know, Peacemaker, maybe a little Lion King.
But there you go. If you have a movie score that's drowned out in the movie, that means even the director did not put it as a priority.
Right.
And
But
knowing the power of a good score and what it could do for a movie, and it could make it iconic and connected to people,
Right.
it can't be that good of a score of his. I mean, it's not
Right,
Frank
it's
doing a
drowned out.
job.
No.
Yeah.
Right. No, I agree.
I blame the editors. I blame the director. It's a really good score. If you guys YouTube the two tracks, they're very very triumphant. Really fun.
Do you-
I guess
is that
that's
what-
semantics.
that's
It could be a good piece
that's
of
the
music.
point.
It doesn't make it a good score, though.
Good. That's a
Yeah, Randy, like you by far pay more attention to scores than anyone else I know.
okay.
Do you isolate the score and value the score alone, or do you value it with the movie
Well,
and how it connects the movie?
you know, if I know that a movie's coming out, that Danny Elfman is doing the music for, I don't like to listen to the score by itself first. I like to watch the movie first with the music, see how it complements the images, and then if I like it enough, I'll download the soundtrack, or I'll go on YouTube, I'll check it out there, and then I'll dig a little deeper into my listening, and then I'll really, if it's a great score, then I'll appreciate it even more. But first, I like to see the film with the music first.
Gotcha. Okay,
Definitely.
makes sense.
Yeah, and
Elfman's your guy, right? That's your your favorite.
It's Elfman, Zimmer, John Powell is very good. I've been listening to a lot of Bill Conti lately. He does a lot of sports films too. You know, Rocky, Karate Kid, Scout, Rookie of the Year, stuff like that. But yeah, you know, just movie first. Like if the audio complements the visuals, then the composer has done his job. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Cool.
I don't know how I came across this score. I'm like, I think I just saw Hans Zimmer's name attached to it. So, and I'm like, this might be a good idea. So I played it and I loved it. Cool. And this was
Now, I know they say Jamaicans are very colorful people.
yeah.
I find it hard to believe that they would, like Junior would wear this outfit. Mostly, I think the hat is what overdoes it.
You know, it kind of works. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't wear it personally. But
All right, Tim Gunn. I don't see it.
And is there a big square dancing community in Calgary?
Actually, I could believe that. I don't know, but I could believe that.
Was that line dancing? I don't even know.
Are they in lines?
Yes.
You have your answer.
There you go.
So you mentioned before, like, what would you say is your top 3 sports movies?
I don't know. Maybe one would be a tie between Rudy and Hoosiers, and Mighty Ducks is pretty good. This is good too.
Mighty Ducks, I love it, man. I
Yeah,
love it.
the first.
I'm going to back him up on that one, actually.
I know. Yeah, Kevin's the Mighty Ducks expert.
That's correct. Films and animated series.
I love the animated series. It's a fun show. It was kind of like Ninja Turtles.
Aren't they coming up with another one?
I don't know.
I heard that
Emilio?
Emilio signed up for it.
Yeah.
This is news to me.
I saw a picture of him by a Zamboni machine vehicle, which was sort of like an image from, I think, a behind-the-scenes image or a publicity still. It's funny too. I was rewatching The Breakfast Club last night, and a few nights ago I was watching Men at Work. I don't know if you guys ever saw that one. A random, ridiculous movie. But gotta love it.
Here we go. Talk about inspirational parts of the movies. Everybody remembers this scene coming up.
It's a good scene. Good scene.
Yes. And yeah, that sweater is ridiculous. I only have one sweater like that, but it's a Christmas sweater. It's an ugly Christmas sweater. With
that was very like,
yeah.
That's very 90s. The tribal or colorful mix. Yeah.
See, Yul Brynner and Junior finally, finally meshing.
They connect.
Yeah. You needed that in order to gel the team,
Well, because one blamed the other. Frankly, Yul Brynner had every reason to be upset with Junior. Oh, he's got the Obama shake going. He didn't point. He did the hand.
Yeah.
I think that was originated by Bill Clinton.
Okay, or Bill Clinton.
Right.
It probably came
out. I think every politician, I think it even dates back to Kennedy. Like.
Okay, the politician thing. Instead of this, we got this. How about that? Yeah.
It's the air clicker. Right. Where's my thumb? There we go.
This is a good life lesson, everybody. If you're going to ever get in a bar fight, make sure you got a guy about the size of Yul Brynner in your team. He'll pick up the slack. And you need at least a crazy person like Sanka, because crazy people they do stuff like that where they take a lot of people out one shot.
Chris, what would you say are your top 3 sports films?
I like that particular genre. I feel like because you're asking me now, I probably, in like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot one, like, but
yeah.
I mean, Rocky, for me, Rocky's up there. Recent movies like The Wrestler, I love The Wrestler.
And you know who was an executive producer, associate producer?
Yes. Evan Ginsberg. Yeah.
Evan Ginsberg.
Slapshot, I'm a big fan of. That's a good one.
Newman, right?
Yeah.
I've heard good things. It looks a little quirky, a little weird.
A little quirky, but it's Paul Newman's one of my all-time favorite actors. Like he's just the guy that I wish I was. Like he's just like the epitome of cool and like a lot of movies.
Awesome.
Yeah. I actually saw that for the first time not too long ago.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that I reserve to watch so I can see them on a big screen. But
nice.
Now that I can't go to a big screen, I've been watching some classics. Yeah.
Gotcha. Another Paul Newman film that'd be good on the big screen, the Hudsucker Proxy.
Oh, I love that movie. I have like such fond memories of it. I remember it being on HBO a lot as a kid, and just like that. I didn't realize that it was a Coen Brothers movie until much later. Like to me, I think that's one of their most like blockbuster, like more mainstream type of movie is the Hudsucker Proxy. But I love that movie growing up.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Style, the visual style is amazing. Tim Robbins is great in the leading role. Great supporting cast too. Bruce Campbell.
Tim Robbins. Yeah.
Tim Robbins is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kev, what would you say your top 3?
First, quick sidebar.
Yes.
Rise Above It, the song playing in the background, more memorable than Hans Zimmer's score.
Right.
For this film,
I was thinking the exact same thing.
I think
for that training montage, it's associated.
I think the soundtrack did really well in the Billboard. It was very popular at the time.
But you're talking to probably the worst person for sports movies, because I look at 2 ways. It's what's the mature answer, and then what do I just watch like so much because I associate it with my childhood, or just sheer enjoyment. So mature answer is any of the Rockies, because especially one true best underdog story in terms of sheer enjoyment, where I'm transported to a child. Give me Mighty Ducks, and then I just love the stupidity of it. The Replacements, I think, is a very underrated sports comedy. I own it, and I've watched it more times than should be allowed. And it's Keanu.
Do we consider billiard movies as a sports movie?
ESPN would consider that a sport.
Yeah. then I love like The Hustler, like The Color of Money. Like that would be like up there too.
That was Newman's Oscar, right? 1986.
Yeah. Scorsese. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Oh, I need to see that. I need to see The Hustler and Color of Money. I'm ashamed to say I've never seen either.
Oh, you have to. It is like The Hustler introduced me to Paul Newman, and I was like, and I love billiards. Like I love playing billiards. Like I went through a big phase in my life where like I did that quite often. And I just wanted to like beat Paul,
I feel the same way with Tom Hanks. So not gonna lie.
Gentlemen, you just glazed over happened a few minutes ago.
What?
The classic bathtub scene. And now we're at the outfit scene. Uniforms.
Right.
It is an iconic scene. That's like the scene you see on the back of the VHS, in a little picture.
Yes. Right below the quote.
And the uniforms are beautiful. It's actually the Jamaican flag, obviously. The colors.
Yeah. I'll be very honest. I know a website or two where you can buy that Jamaican bobsled team costume. Yeah. I thought better of not wearing it for reasons we don't need to get into, but I've at least done research on it.
But it's a really good 4-person Halloween costume. Definitely.
As long as it's only the clothing that you change.
Now this guy, was he Mr. Palomino from Just Friends?
Just Friends. Is that Ryan Reynolds?
Ooh, Mr. Palomino. Maybe.
Yeah.
I
love that movie, by the way.
That's one. I quote that often, like sipping water. Every time I sip water, I'm like, I'm stuffed.
When James was also the bad guy in Flubber.
We'll have to talk about that later, because there are few people I know love that movie as much as I do.
Oh my god! Just Anna Faris just like cracks me up. Randy, that's a movie that we should do for commentaries. It's such a great movie.
That was one of my go-to pop-ins during college.
I don't know it that well.
I just yeah. But I have a little soft spot for that because I'm Chris, obviously. My brother's name is Mike, and in that movie, the brothers are Chris and Mike, and that. So like when they there's a scene where they fight, and then they just break up because they have to go, and they're like, "I love you," and they're like, "I love you too," and like we would do that too. Like we would just crash heads and fight, and Nice. Such a good movie, Randy. You gotta watch that. Oh my.
I'll revisit it.
This movie
Forgiveness. This is one of their better runs, right? This is when they start really meshing.
Yeah, this is how they qualified, actually.
Here we go.
And then you're going to hear Zimmer's score. But again, it's kind of drowned out.
So to recap, they had to do a tighter qualifying time than what they were initially told because they were trying to screw over the Jamaicans, and they still beat it.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's historically accurate, but it definitely made for a good scene.
Yeah. More dramatic. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. It looks so good. That doesn't look like the same. Yeah, they really did.
Oh, a little Coke placement right there. Coca-Cola.
Yes, perfect.
Ooh, and it's the glass Coca-Cola bottle.
I know.
So you know it tastes better.
Every time Coke wants to like show off their brand, they always bring back the glass versions.
No, but it really makes a difference.
It does, yeah.
Oh, are we going to get the name of the movie coming up? Yes, we are.
The other movie?
You're disqualified.
Ah.
Oh no. That's Mr. Palomino.
He's always kind of like a slimy character.
Yeah.
He just has that look about him.
Yeah. He plays kind of a slimy character in Just Friends too, like just like the obnoxious asshole dad.
He's got that face.
And he was the villain in Flubber. Raymond J. Barry? Yeah. He's still alive, 81.
Good scene.
Mm-hmm.
Again, dramatic candy, gotta love it.
Yeah, I was waiting for the camera to kind of zone in a little bit more on him. It was too wide before. This is good. I just have to comment. Fantastic scarf.
Yes.
Just great scarf.
Very Caribbean.
I couldn't imagine being like the costume designer for this movie. Like, more color. Just slap on the color.
Well, they made a good point of every other person always being in dark colors.
Yeah. A little psych out move.
There's Zimmer's door.
Dog pile.
It looks so. Even this triumphant Olympic theme, I think that's Zimmer.
I think these are real clips, right? This part. They just say they spliced in some of the real stuff in the movie.
Yeah, that scene, that clip just there was the actor.
Like the one where they didn't show their face, I should say.
Yeah.
Right? Olympics was canceled this year?
It was.
Anybody want to tell me who the Gipper is?
Ronald Reagan.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Is that
When
his
he
name?
was an actor. Yeah. Yeah. That was like a win-one for the Gipper. Like he, it was like an underdog story. Haven't seen much of Reagan, but I do know that.
George.
Well, when he was when he was president, he also said that line too.
George
Who's Secretary of State? Jerry Lewis?
Nice.
Is that? Oh yeah, that's Back to the Future. It took me a little bit.
Yeah. Classic.
So here's my issue with Junior.
Mm.
Look at his costume. Nobody in this world should button the polo to the top button.
But it exists.
Well,
it exists.
For
it shows
decorative purposes only.
You forget. He's also in Canada, so it gets cold. So you gotta
Protect the Adam's apple.
right.
No, it really actually bothers me. Like, there's no reason for that polo to be that way.
Defiant.
Junior.
The fact that he goes, "Tell me what you see," in a whiny voice takes away from the scene, though.
I wonder what take that was. Like, the other takes were like,
Junior, you're supposed to be a badass here, but first, whine like a 5-year-old.
"Tell me what you see."
You're not playing the game with me.
He didn't finish his monologue. He's like,
Oh my gosh.
Also, really, awkward timing. If I'm pissed at my child for defying me, the fact that he qualified for the Olympics is probably the worst time to say, "Hey, come back home."
Obviously,
There's a point when there's a point of no return.
Yeah.
I'm going to say post walking out with your flag for the Olympics and the opening ceremonies is past the point of no return.
Bad timing. Bad timing. So. And actually coming up is one of my favorite Hans Zimmer cues of all time. It's when the I think the East German guys go down the route, the race, and the music is just very inspirational, very The Rock, if you know that score. Very Zimmer.
For the Germans?
Yeah. Because of Zimmer. Here it is.
They're not German, dude.
Whatever.
Swedes, right?
Swiss.
Yeah, Swiss. It's funny when listening to this movie. I get a very with the score. I get a very True Romance feeling towards it because
That was actually the same year, and Zimmer wrote the music for that.
Zimmer did True Romance too.
Yeah.
Okay.
That had like a calypso type of theme to it,
Right. Had like some steel drums to it too.
Yeah, same exact year too. That's crazy. 93, and then a year later he would win an Oscar. Lion King. Good time for Mr. Zimmer.
Gonna be a mighty king. Red stripe again. I'm impressed at how that egg lasted so many different things.
How did it not break? I'll never know.
It's hard boiled. He didn't tell anyone.
Yeah, but there's a point where that's got to start smelling.
And here's the Jamaican theme, which is calypso. No.
You choked.
Adidas.
Nice.
More product placement.
Of course.
The Swiss.
Not sure if I could pull off that sweater.
No, you couldn't.
But it looks very...
It looks very comfortable.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Leon and anything else? Because I don't really know his work.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure I saw him in a different world, but after that, who knows?
Okay.
I love how Sanka has become the moral compass of the team.
Yeah, he was like the opposite before.
Mm-hmm. Less of the comic relief, more moral.
He's the heart.
Yeah.
Heart and soul. Correct.
I love John Candy's jacket. I think that's pretty awesome. Again, though, I don't think I could pull off that combination with that hat.
I'd make fun of you if you wore that hat.
Yes. Here comes another theme from Zimmer. The main theme.
Yeah, I really got to push to hear it.
If you really focus on it, you can.
You shouldn't have to, is my point, though.
I know.
Jamaica.
Yeah, I'm looking at Leanne Robinson's filmography. He hasn't really done much in the most recent years. I think the last thing I see is Her Only Choice in 2018.
Did you see the Little Richard movie?
Nope.
I'm curious. I'd like to see what he does with that type of personality.
So Jamaicans jumped from last to 8th place in one shot.
Oh, he did do Little Richard, but in 2000, and it was an NBC television film.
Woo!
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Another good, strong John Candy scene.
Yeah. All of them. This movie makes me want to see like his entire filmography. The earliest thing I remember him in was Splash with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
1984. I'm sure he did stuff before then.
Oh yeah.
He did
Blues Brothers. He did Stripes, right?
You're right. That was 1980.
Good line. That's probably the strongest line.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know if that's true or not, though. There's a lost opportunity. They could have had some more fun commentators. As cameos or bit roles.
Like Eugene Levy and Martin Short. Wait, is that the commentators? Are those real or are those actors?
I don't know, but you could have put some good comedic actors there. Considering it's a lighthearted comedy already to begin with, I just see it as a lost opportunity.
True.
Oh, he kissed the lucky egg.
Hmm.
Here's a little trivia right here. Cuba Gooding Jr., Jeffrey Wright, and Eric LaSalle were all considered for the bobsledders.
Nice.
Well, Cuba would have been an unknown at this point, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
83.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright too.
Yeah. Eric LaSalle. Let's see.
So this part actually did happen, or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll read into it a little bit. The crash. In reality, the crash happened on the fourth and final run, and it was deemed that driver inexperience and excessive speed caused the crash.
Yeah.
Real TV footage of the crash was used in the film.
No.
Okay, so that's what we saw.
One of the blades was loose, and there was a screw loose for one of the blades, which contributed to it. And I think they didn't realize that there was a crash until they actually they could smell their helmets burning from the ice, from the friction.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's intense. It was like they were in shock, you know.
The film was AFI's top 10 sports films of 2008.
Nice.
This is the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
However, in reality, they didn't carry the sled. They just like walked alongside it and kind of like slid it across. So
Yeah.
this, for more dramatic purposes.
Yeah.
Dude, if I had my head bouncing around like crazy going down a hill, I don't think I could pick up a sled.
I mean, they
It almost has
could have
like
done.
a funeral-esque, like, you know, kind of like pallbearers walking a coffin type of thing.
Very good comparison.
Wow.
I know. I went there.
I didn't see it, but there you go. Yeah.
But it's almost like, you know,
It's not
putting it to rest, but
they're
you know,
putting doubt
going the extra mile, right?
and conflict and negativity to rest.
I'm going to say that's one of the better slow claps I've seen in film.
Yeah, that didn't happen in real life either. I mean, they applauded, but there wasn't a slow clap.
You know how hard it is to actually get a natural slow clap to happen? Damn near impossible.
Oh,
I would think there has to be like a level of confusion at first. Like, are we? Oh, okay.
Am I out of sync? Are you out of sync?
Should we be clapping right now?
And here you could really hear Zimmer. Very true romance, Chris.
Yes, right. I watched that recently too. I own that movie, so I was watching it, and is a film of its time. Like
Amazing.
it's so off color and offbeat. It's definitely its own thing.
I mean, it's got one of the biggest casts. It's got Tarantino, Tony Scott.
Tarantino script, yeah. Tony Scott.
I think it's pretty much near perfect.
Yeah, it's a little outdated just by the context. Like it's so bombastic and off the wall that.
No.
Yeah.
I would do a commentary for that for sure.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Here we go. Look at the picture. Ready for it? Wait for it. Right next to the picture of his dad.
Nice. That's a good one.
Nice choice to have it in black and white. I'm sure at this time they could have had it in color, but.
Is that the sequel? 4 years later.
I don't think they've ever actually gotten a medal, though.
And there you have it, guys. Cool runnings.
Very cool.
It holds up 27 years later.
The rain is gone.
Yeah, Jimmy Cliff, he had a resurgence of I See Clearly Now because of this movie.
It's a great song.
Good song.
Interesting.
Good movie. Good movie. I gotta be honest. Like, it doesn't do it for me compared to other sports movies or other heartfelt movies, but it's good.
Well, it doesn't take itself as seriously as a lot of the other hardcore, serious sports movies.
You know what? I kind of disagree. I think it does take itself seriously, and I think maybe that's the reason why it's a little unsettling. But it might be just me, but I feel like this. I don't remember how hot this was. I'm forgetting how hot this was at the time, but at this point in time, it was 5 years removed, right? So it was still kind of fresh, and I bet it was a story that people had more in their minds. So I think, and it's just such a underdog story that, like, and being so fresh at the time, I bet studios were like, yeah, this makes sense to do, and I'm sure that's the reason why Disney greenlit it. But now having it so removed, it's good, but I don't know. There's something about it that's just not a wow for me.
Something off, something not great.
Yeah, like it's good. It's not great though. Even from it's John Candy is a good dramatic and dramedy type of actor, but even this didn't. I feel like there was some missed opportunities there.
You know what? I think I saw this when I was a kid back in the 90s, around the time it came out.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I liked it then, and then I watched it again, I think around college time. I liked it then too, and then I watched it a few days ago, and I don't think my opinion has really changed much.
Right.
The 3 times I've seen it.
Right. It
kind of is what it is.
I remember always liking it, but it wasn't like I would go back to it. Like throughout the years, looking at John Candy, I would go back to Uncle Buck, or I would go back to Trains, Planes, but like this, I don't know. But I commemorate it because it was a heartfelt movie. I think it deals with race and the supporting of equals and humanity that I think speaks volumes today with what's going on. So I think it's a great reflection on humanity. So I think it's for those reasons I think we should continue to watch it today. But there's something about it that I'm like, it's good, but it's not on this pantheon of greats for me.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
It's
good pick.
Interesting. I mean, I put this as like comfort food of movies. I gotta it's, as a younger person, you take the fun of it. Sanka is like, your comedy relief, and you crack up for that, and you take that away. If you're older, you need a little more meat to it. I actually like John Candy's serious scenes. I don't think I appreciate it as much as I was a kid. To me, he was just kind of like I knew he was a funny guy, but he wasn't funnier, and that's all I remember. And now, if I actually dissect it, like he had some strong scenes here. It's it's not winning awards, but this is a comfort food. This is something you can revisit.
It's a definite feel good. Disney hit it out of the park with this one, in my opinion, and it really refreshed my appreciation for Candy and how he can go from funny to dramatic and like just seconds and like.
No, I get it. And to be honest, like Disney is not doing any of this type of stuff anymore. Like the like original live action movies that is not affiliated with any sort of adaptation or like
Mulan,
this is
Beauty and the Beast.
right, like that, or like just based off of a comic or another property. Like this is like I feel like just a lost art form for them. So,
and I think the fact that it's based off of an actual event makes it more powerful. And I think if movie studios look back into the history of society and sports, there's a lot of stuff there for movie making. So
I get it. I get the reason why people like it. I like it. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm glad that we watched it. But even watching it, I'm not like itching to go see it again. Like maybe it's just me. I don't know.
It's gonna be a while before I replay this one, but I'm probably gonna look at the score tomorrow. So
you and the scores.
Yeah,
I'll play Rise Above it. Okay.
Yeah. But guys, I want to thank you so much for being here for this commentary tonight. This is a lot of fun as always.
Fun as always.
Yeah. And we'll have you back again soon, Kev.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
All right. So guys, this has been Under the Radar presents movie commentaries, and this was Cool Runnings. And I'm your host, Randy Unger, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.